Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about how a major sportsbook took advantage of a loophole to sort of screw me over. But since I know most people don't bet on sports, I won't only talk about that. I know people don't really care that much. So I might also talk about the Matthew effect. It actually got me thinking about the Matthew effect. The Matthew effect is it's in the Bible, but it's basically the adage, look, the rich get rich and the poor get poor. Now, okay, first I'll detail the loophole, and then I'll talk about how they used it. Okay, I pretty much only bet on the NHL. Like more than 99% of the money I bet on sports is on the NHL. During the regular season, I only make futures bets. Uh, so yeah, and I'm pretty sure I have an edge betting on the NHL. So the money I bet, even though I don't have that much money, the money I bet is not really that small compared to how much money I have. Um, so yeah, okay, here's the loophole. Okay, when you bet on sports, after you make a bet, like after you make a futures bet or any type of bet actually, any type of bet you make, they'll always give you a cash out option 1 second after you made the bet. So in other words, you can make a bet, the event you bet on, whatever you bet on, if you bet on a game, the game you bet on hasn't even started. It's like 0% completed, but they'll give you a cash out option for less money than what you bet. It's like, what? Why would I do that? And then when the NHL regular season was 80% over, COVID-19 wiped out the NHL regular season. The season was 80% over and COVID-19 wipes out the season. They don't give me a cash out option. So they just void all my bets. The three biggest bets I made that were voided were all made at even money, and all of them were on pace to win. I'll repeat that since it's so ridiculous. The three biggest bets I made this year that were voided were all made at even money, and they were all on pace to win. Look, I bet in increments, so yeah, it might be kind of annoying to look at. This was the big, I bet this, I put like $60 on this, but in different increments. The biggest bet I made that was voided was I took the over on the Washington Capitals. I bet it 2 different days. I took the over at 100.5. Later on, they were 99.5. Washington was on pace for 108. It was almost impossible I was going to lose this bet. Actually, the second and third biggest bets I made that were voided were even worse than that. Okay, I'll go. I took the over on the Islanders at like 86. They're on pace for 96. Anyways, long story short, they voided $320 worth of my bets when I was on pace for a payout of 500. So yeah, yeah, it got me thinking about the Matthew effect. Like even though I objectively, like